Hello and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. So we just finished the Spirit Temple and now we're going to head on over to our next area. It's going to start off with a cutscene, so I figured I would just cut in the video here. We'll go through the cutscene. We have one more thing to collect and then we're going to go off onto the next temple. So, yeah. So yeah, we come in and clearly there's distress at Kakariko Village. Oh, and here's Sheik standing over the well. That can't be a good sign. Yeah, this definitely isn't getting any better, so there is definitely something amiss here. Eesh. That had to hurt. I don't know what Link's plan was there. Like, clearly you're not physically going to hurt whatever that was, so... I mean, points for effort, I guess? Yeah, I think Link got absolutely rocked there. So the evil shadow spirit's been released, so that's going to lead us to the next temple for sure. And Abercrombie, just like that, Sheik is gone once again. So now if you're keeping track, we do have all of the warp songs and we have one heart piece left to collect. So that's something we're going to be doing right away. So actually, while I'm here, I'm going to switch back to my Highland Shield just because. So our final heart piece, I do believe that you can collect this one earlier. I just find that once you have the long shot, it's just a lot easier. So, and this is also part of the reason why I just waited until now to grab it. So we're going to come back over to this grave, which, if we remember from earlier, is Dampy's grave. So, basically all we have to do is do another race with Dampy, but we have to complete it in under a minute. So It's not too bad, but it can be a bit of a pain to get through. So um, one thing that makes it much easier is having the long shot, and at the end you can hook shot to the torches. Now that's assuming that the controller will work with me and I can aim at the torch quickly, because if you don't aim at it quickly, you lose a bunch of time anyway, so this could take me a few attempts, but generally I don't have a whole ton of problems with it. And not hitting those little balls of fire definitely that helps the situation. So if you don't run into them, it definitely gives you a lot more time to try. But once you get to here, just want to look up and nope, controller's not working with me. It's too finicky. So yeah, this is kind of how you want to do it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to when I complete it next. So yeah, all he's gonna do is just drop a few rupees, and then we're just gonna wind up having to go back around and restart the race. And as per normal, you just come right out to the windmill. So I will see you guys at the next cut when I actually do finally complete it. Okay, so now we are back, and I'm not sure how many attempts I'm at now. I've honestly stopped keeping track, but it's probably 5 or 6 now. Yeah, the end of this minigame, having to aim the hook shot at the torch with the N64 controller, we kind of take for granted how refined new controllers are and how you can make fine-tuned movements much easier with them, and this controller just does not do that very well. This is definitely one of the mini games that I dread more than any to complete, just because it just comes right down to the end. I usually do pretty good with the running path, and then once I have to get to the end and do the fine-tuned aiming with the hook shot, that's when I find I have the most struggle. Being relatively lined up to it. Oh, no. No! Oh, did I do it? There's 1 full minute count. There we go. So, we got our final piece of heart, so that definitely I am glad is finally done. We don't need to collect any more of those. So now it's just completing the last temple, getting the Skulltulas in there, and collecting the Skulltulas, or the 1 Skulltula left in the market on our way out. So yeah, this is definitely the part of the game where it finally starts to feel much more complete. Now, to access the Shadow Temple, we actually can't access it without the warp song. I'm fairly sure you glitch your way up there early. I don't do glitch runs and stuff like that, so I'm just guessing probably. But through normal means of gameplay, you do require the Nocturne of Shadow to get up here. So, yeah, if you look, there's the fence here, and there's the graveyard down there. So, when we come in, we're going to be greeted by a circle of torches, and we do need to light them all. If you look on this little pedestal, there's the little fire symbol for the fire medallion. So you would naturally assume you have to do something with fire, and the easiest, and I'm pretty sure the only way to actually do this is through Din's Fire. So at this point, it makes Din's Fire a required item. So yeah, you do have to collect at least that one. And now we are into the Shadow Temple. I love the atmosphere of the Shadow Temple, to be completely honest. There we go. Now, one of the things with the Shadow Temple is you're gonna need to use the Lens of Truth a lot. There's a lot of fake walls, fake floors, and fake torches. So what we need to do is line this bird up to the one torch head that doesn't disappear. And if you get it wrong, then the floor breaks out from under you and you get sent down to a pit of nothing. So all you have to do is, you can let go of this, you just can't walk away if it's not on the right skull. And if it's on the correct one, the gate across the way will open. But there is no invisible floor or anything, so we need to find a way across. And luckily, the dungeon item here is the one that that will help us get across there. So this area gets a little bit confusing as you go along. There will be little text boxes that pop up and everything. It can feel a little bit maze-like if you're not used to it, but it's actually not that bad. It's only a couple rooms with little pass-throughs and doors, so it's not this huge labyrinth that it can feel like if you're just feeling your way around it. And we get our first big chest. And as to no surprise, it is the dungeon map. So we have that really early on. So when I come out, you'll see what I mean. See, it's just a couple sections with pass-throughs and a pass-through and a side area. So it without the map and without the lens of truth, you can kind of get wandering around a bit. No fake walls, just want to double check that. And if we remember the hands sticking out of the floor, it is our friend Dead Hand. Same idea still applies. So you're just trying to get him to lower his head and do a jump attack. The one really nice thing about it this time, though, is you're not relying on switching back and forth from the Deku sticks to get the two-handed jump attack. You're just using your big Goron sword, which is much more reliable and much quicker for this battle. So that's kind of nice. And a big chest. So our dungeon item, it is the hover boots. So the boots basically, the way they work is you're not technically touching the ground, which is a little trick I'll show a little bit later towards the end of the game for a room that you're going to encounter. But the whole idea is that you can hover short distances, and the door that we had just opened in the previous room has a short distance we need to cross. So go through here. Yeah, like I said, getting through that area is really easy once you get used to it. Unfortunately, much like the iron boots, you're going to use it for short spurts and then have to change your boots again, so just be careful when you're using your hover boots that you do slip and slide a bit, so just be mindful of that. Oh, and I suppose I might as well. So just be mindful of that if you're on like a smaller platform or somewhere that you can fall down. Go. So we have 3 doors that we can pass through, as I'm sure you probably figured out with this temple already. The way it works, there is going to be fake walls. That's going to be the 2 that are on the sides. And you're going to have to go in all directions in order to get to all the rooms and get everything you need. So yeah, that's a weird collision thing that I've wondered about. Let's see if I can... Oh, that one's not invisible. Oh. Passed right through it, but didn't collect it. is that this blade, even though it looks like it's going to actually hurt you, right near the tip there actually isn't any collision for it. With this is just a drop through down to a cage that takes you nowhere at all, so don't worry about going in that area. And just like the blade trap in the ice cavern, you just want to duck under the blade and it'll miss you entirely. So, oh, it wasn't quite away from the end of it, so. We got a key. I do believe there's another chest in here somewhere. Oh, maybe it's not this one. One of the little side rooms does have an invisible chest in it. I don't think it has anything significant in it anyway, but... Oh. Okay. We go straight across, and we want to go into this room. Tiptoe! Oh. Back up. Oh. Oh, come on. I hate Redeads and Gyptos. They're unnecessarily stressful. And it's just because of this, because they latch onto you and then they just drain a whole bunch of health. Does that do anything to him? Nope. Oh, he's gonna latch onto me. Yeah, Redeads and Gyptos are kind of the bane of my existence. They're such a simple enemy, but you miss time when you approach them, and that very easily happens. And now we have our compass, so now it's just getting through the dungeon. Which, this isn't an overly long dungeon. Kind of like the water temple, it feels a little more tedious, especially because you're towards the end of the game. Lots of stuff like that, like little traps and just things meant to throw you off. Just like anything else, they just seem to sneak up on you a little bit better. Go. We're gonna see a lot of these guillotine-like blocks. You know, just add a little bit of timing into what you're doing. So we watch for the shadows of the monsters that hang from the ceiling. So yeah, right in the beginning here, there is a wall master. It is no different than anything else. Oh, that was a little bit close for comfort. The easy way to take on wall masters when you're not trying to use like Din's Fire or another method is just to wait for the shadow to stop growing. Once it stops growing under Link's feet, just roll out of the way, and then it's pretty easy from there. So they're not actually that complicated. Alrighty. And then just for fun, this is actually an invisible platform, but I don't feel like going and switching out to my lens of truth, because I'm going to be doing that enough to begin with, so anytime I can save doing that, I'm going to. This is not an empty room, so wound up having to do it anyway. There is another one of those blade traps in the center of the room, so just be mindful of that. There's another one over there. So yeah, if you just stay to the outside, this room shouldn't really give you any grief. Go. Hear it. Can't see it. The screen. Oh, there it is. The screen is so dark. Well, sorry, it's the game itself. My screen brightness is high enough. And we get ourselves a sculpture for our efforts, too. So yeah, here's the room I was thinking of before. There is a chest here you can very, very clearly see on the radar. Or the compass. Oh. I try to avoid that, but... Oh. But I also don't go out of my way to avoid that trap. Again, that room should be pretty easy if you just stick around to the outside and you've got your bow ready to take on, especially the keys, the light you can dispatch them in any number of ways, so. There we go. Oh, am I gonna make that? Ah, I didn't make it. That's what happens when you rush. I am not a speedrunner. I don't have any of this stuff calculated out or anything like that, so if I rush too much, I am bound to make a more annoying mistake than anything. Okay. Let's wait till it gets to the top, or pretty close to the top. And then again, we take these bad boys off, especially around the blade traps. Oh. And might as well pull the bombs out. There's a lot of item switching you're going to do in this dungeon. Obviously, being later game, it wants you to use as much of your equipment as it can to throw you off, right? So... Go around. Oh. I don't think I've ever done that puzzle without hitting at least one of the blade traps. Okay, nope. That's enough of that. And this is one of those rooms that makes this dungeon feel tedious. So it's not an overly complicated room, but definitely block puzzles are a great way for them to add to the fatigue of doing a dungeon, because they're so slow, right? But it is definitely important, because if those traps fall on you, then I believe they send you back to the beginning of the room -1 heart and resets the room, so I believe this is just a blue rupee, just to have a chest. Oh, some arrows that I very did not need. So yeah, when you do this puzzle, the important thing to keep in mind between those two spike traps is that you want to push the block forward until it's halfway and blocking both of them. Do your thing, and then you want to pull it from the other side, because if you push it, the first blade trap will fall on you while you're pushing it, and then, yeah, then it sends you back and resets the room. So that can get annoying really quick. Chest. And then just use the trap to get over. You can hookshot the chest if you're inclined to, but it really doesn't matter. And then what we're gonna do... Oh. Again, a lot of item switching in here. Oh. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh! Okay, so it's gonna send me way back over here. Thanks. I've never actually slipped off that path before, so I'm wondering if this is because I'm kind of half focusing on narrative as much as I'm trying to stay focused on the game, so I think I'm experiencing some slip-ups I normally wouldn't otherwise. Wonder if I can just bypass it altogether. Whoa, whoa, yeah, and that's what I mean about being careful on smaller surfaces with the hover boots, because yeah, you can slip off of surfaces really easily if you're not very much in the center of them. So okay, so just like everything else, this room is not as empty as it looks. There's some spike traps and stuff. So yeah, just be mindful in this and again, 3 deads. Of course, they don't spit out health to replace some of it. It's always magic. But yeah, the thing to keep in mind, especially until you've gone through a couple playthroughs of this game, is in this temple, no room is ever as empty as it seems. As I walk through one of the invisible traps. So, yeah, if you just keep that in mind while you're doing this temple definitely gets a lot easier. I'm trying to collect this one. Kinda gotta line up to one of the hook shot points in the room. Okay, at least the collision didn't mess with me on that one. This one, then this side door will open. And we have a giant skull torch in the middle of the room. There's some bomb flowers, so you can do this if you don't have very many bombs, or just don't want to keep switching items. This room, it's not bad. There's another one that's later on that's a little bit tougher to do with the bomb flowers, but and we hear another Skulltula. Aiming, there we go. And there we go. So I believe I should only have 1 or 2 more left in here to collect. Trying to multitask. Oh. See if I can find it. Nope, not first try. Oh, I was way off that time. Yeah, sometimes I just try to get that invisible one. Just because. So in here we've got these fans that'll try to blow you around. So this is where you will need the iron boots to make another appearance. Now luckily we don't have to switch to and from the iron boots nearly as much as the water temple, so it's not that big of a deal. Hook shot across. The other thing you can do is just wait for the fan to stop and switch over to your hover boots, but yeah, grabbing the long shot's definitely the easier thing. See, now, this guy is annoying, because what's going to happen is as soon as I get relatively close, it's going to open up and it's going to shoot a fireball. And you can only take that out when the eye is open, so it can be a bit tough to aim at. Generally, it's not going to cause you problems, so you can largely just ignore it. The dog just let out a big old groan. Okay, and now, there's a chest over here in the corner. Grab with the help of the Lens of Truth. And then what this room is for is you hit this dead end, and then if you inspect it with Navi, hear spirits whispering in the room. Those who have the sacred feet should let the wind guide them. Then they will be led to the hidden path. So the basically what that is that's a clue that in line with this end with this fourth fan, there's actually a pass-through right here. And you don't have to wait for the fan to kick on, as I just showed. But yeah, the idea is to stand in front of that fan and then just let it blow you into place. But yeah, that's just extra work that I didn't need to put in. The other annoying thing about Gyptos versus Redeads is Redeads, after you defeat one, they just kind of do this swarming thing, and they kind of ignore you altogether, and they'll just walk towards the one that's been defeated. Whereas Gyptos, they don't do that. If you move, they are going to try and attack you, so... Right here. I can't remember which way it's facing. This way? This way? Oh, there we go. So yeah, you do have to do this because this key is hidden very cleverly. And that's how you will move on to the next room. Yes. The giant ship. This is also where I believe we're going to get our second last Cultula in the temple. And this one is one of the ones where you are required to have the Scarecrow song and the long shot, so... Again, another tedious block pushing puzzle. You don't have to push it all the way to the end. You can stop, climb up, and just jump, but by the time you're within jumping distance, you might as well just... Or no, because it seats into place so it's too tall. You have to complete it. Just like that. Okay. Now, what we need... is our ocarina. And we have a Scarecrow. Okay, so sorry for the weird cut there. Got a phone call, so yeah, I kind of had to stop the recording, and now I'm gonna have to edit 2 clips together. Actually, I think that's the first time I'm gonna have to do 2 legitimately separate clips rather than just cutting out the middle one. But yeah, so we're gonna continue on and collect our second last token of the temple, and that should be our third last. So we should only have 2 more tokens left to collect. Perfect. Not gonna lie, every time I've checked the Skulltulas, I've had a little bit of a panic inside going, okay, if I missed one, I've got to figure out where. But I haven't had that problem, so that's definitely helped the playthrough move along. Now we're going to take a lovely little boat trip. Just like everything else, all is not as it seems. So be careful with battling on this boat. So you have that Stalfos, and then a second one should show up, I'm pretty sure. Need that heart? Okay, just don't want to walk. So if he notices he was falling towards the back of the boat. The one thing to be mindful of is the boat is moving forward, so if you do your jump attack towards the back of the boat, you will travel a lot further than you think you will. Whereas if you try to attack forward, then you have a very short jump attack. So, yeah, just bear in mind that the platform is moving, and that will be a factor when you go to fight those guys if you are prone to using jump attacks. So, need to go to this side room, and we are pretty close to the end of the temple finally. So, again, just like everything else, not as it seems. There's lots of invisible walls here. I ignore the floor masters altogether. They're just more of a... Ow. Don't make me pull out my lens of... I am awful at quick spins. Oh, I got all three. That was that was the hardest way I could have done that. I very easily could have just pulled out Din's Fire or something. I just really didn't want to have to do another item switch. So, we've got another small key. So, this room, just like every other one, get out of the way. Oh, there we go. So yeah, oh, did I miscue where I am? Okay, so I got the little guys. Stop it! Yeah, I am doing this like the hardest way possible, but again, I don't want to have to keep pausing and switching items, which I'm gonna have to do in here anyway. So yeah, if you take your lens of truth out in that room, that definitely just makes that so much easier. But generally, I don't have problems navigating that room because it is a very simple maze. Okay, and then just like before, it's just trying to get the bombs into the... Oh, I did get all three. Nice. With them spinning, that can be a little bit problematic if you're not great at timing that kind of thing out. But yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, that one's much easier. If you're prone to going through bombs or having a low amount, then use the bomb flower in the first one, and this is the room that you would use your actual bombs for. So just a small amount of item management. And then here, we have the golden token on the map. So that means we are done. Now it's just to collect the boss key, which, spoiler alert, this is like basically the last room left to do anything in. And we've got an Indiana Jones-like trap. And if you break this, it guarantees that you have magic. So the easy... Actually, I think the only solution for this is wait until they get relatively close. I have this fun game where I see how close I can get them. If they do catch you, they will... I want to say reset you, but I can't remember because I don't think I've ever been actually... Like, I don't think I've ever had that trap actually catch me, so... I don't know if it's an instant game over or whatever the case may be. And now we have the final chest we need to open. Okay, so now we have the boss key. Over here. Go back this way. This way. And out we go. So yeah, again, that room, if you're not used to it, Lens of Truth, not a terribly difficult room at all. And as you get a couple playthroughs in, it's one of the rooms that's easier to remember. Okay, and now we're gonna cross our makeshift bridge. Oh! Ah, of course. Again, that's the first time I've ever done that. If we come over this way... So, I believe that's either the Scarecrow song or the Song of Time to hop up. I am very not going to worry about that. We have magic and arrows. And then in here, you are going to want your hover boots and your lens of truth. Oh, let's keep that bad boy on. Come over this way. And right here. Now we're gonna go take on the Shadow Temple boss. This is by far my least favorite boss. And I pointed this out earlier in the playthrough, and I promised I would point out which boss. This one is my least favorite just because of the bouncing mechanic of the floor. Sometimes I don't have any issues with him. Sometimes I have a lot. This is the Phantom Shadow Beast, Bongo Bongo. So where this can get to be a pain is you have to lock on to one of his hands. And don't let it grab you. I have no doubt in my mind because I didn't oh, and he will throw you out, and then this area will hurt you. So the whole objective is to hit his hands, and once you freeze them both, you need to pull out your... Yeah, you need to get your lens of truth out so you can see him and lock onto him, shoot his eye, jump attack his eye. But yeah, because I didn't heal up at all, I kind of figured I was going to go through a fairy there. Now, this is how this goes when it goes well. Oh! Ah. Part of what makes this boss a pain is dead targeting can work against you a little bit because it's still a little bit finicky. There we go. Like, oh, don't tell me I have to correct because there was no way I was going to have enough time to recorrect and actually hit him. So that was one of the better-ish runs where I haven't struggled with. Again, I probably should have just healed up before I went in anyway, but not that big of a deal. And that boss is, like I said, it's just aiming at his hands with you bouncing up and down. If you're really bad with timing, what can happen is you can target onto him, and when he bounces you up in the air, your arrow will fly over one of his hands, and then yeah, contending with that's just can be problematic. So that is my least favorite boss in the entire game. The boy with the noble Zelda's ocarina, as I expected, you have come. I am Impa, one of the Sheikah. I am Princess Zelda's caretaker. I am also the sage who guards the Shadow Temple. We Sheikah have served the royalty of Hyrule from generation to generation as attendants. However, On that day 7 years ago, Ganondorf suddenly attacked, and Hyrule Castle surrendered after a short time. Ganondorf's target was one of the keys to the Sacred Realm, the hidden treasure of the royal family, the Ocarina of Time. My duty bound me to take Zelda out of Ganondorf's reach. When last I saw you, as we made our escape from the castle, you were just a lad. Now I see that you have become a fine hero. There's nothing to worry about. The princess is safe now. Soon you'll meet Princess Zelda face to face, and she will explain everything. That is when we, the 6 wise ones, will seal up the evil king and return peace to Hyrule. I have to stay here. You go to Princess Zelda's side and protect her on my behalf. Now I put my power, which should be helpful to you, into this medallion. Okay, and now we have received the Shadow Medallion. Please look out for the princess. Link, the hero. Finally, all of us, the 6 sages, have been awakened. The time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Before that, though, you should meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time. Aha! So, now if we take a look, we are very, very close to done with the game. So, we have all 20 hearts. We have 99 out of 100 Skulltulas, which again, we know where the last one is. It is in here. So we have no issues there. But before I end off, we're actually going to take a quick trip into Kakariko Village, especially because it is daytime right now, so the place that I want to go will be open. This isn't mandatory what I'm about to do, but it's definitely something that will make the end of the game much easier. So where we're actually going to go is over to the potion shop that we have largely ignored. And the reason for that is because we are going to actually go in behind to where the old hag's potion shop is. And I didn't point this out because like obviously as this playthrough has gone through, I haven't needed an item like this, but it's definitely something that helps out. It is also very expensive. So the ultimate potion, how about 100 rupees? Oh, it's actually only 100. I thought it was 200 for some reason. So yeah, at any point as your adult Link, you can buy a blue potion. So if there's a boss you're struggling with or something that you're struggling with health-wise or even magic-wise, you can come get this potion. So I do strongly recommend this for the end of the game. It's not like it makes it significantly easier, just more speeds up the process a little bit. So yeah, it's not like the end of Majora's Mask with the Fierce Deity Mask. That whole thing, no, it's not quite like that. So yeah, I do recommend doing that on your way out of here, because you're not really going to have too many opportunities, really good opportunities to come back here, because I am showing something off in the next episode. I will be back in the area, so but if you don't do all of that or do this in a different order, then yeah, then coming back and grabbing this potion may be a little bit inconvenient. But again, for 100 rupees, and it will replenish your magic and your health at the same time, it is definitely worth the cost. And again, if you're struggling with anything throughout the game, having one of these on hand and ready to go could really help. So That being said, we are so very close to the end of the game. I anticipate this will be 2 more episodes, and then we will be done with the end of the game. So thank you so much for the support. It's always appreciated. If you did like the video, as always, don't forget to drop a like. If you really liked it, don't forget to subscribe on your way over to your next video. And until the next one, thank you and all the best.